Hey, what's up, Kudos Crew? It's Elizabeth Morosco. Thank you for joining us for a special edition of Cup of Kudos Inspired Daily Life. If you're ready to jumpstart into positive living, this is an episode you definitely want to catch.
Hi everybody, my name is DeAnn, and this is your Sunday edition of Cup of Kudos. Thank you all so much for joining me today. This is our first episode of the Sunday edition, so I just wanted to say how honored I am to be able to speak to you and to be a part of assisting you in your own journey of positive enlightenment and living in just a more happy place as you go through this journey of life. Now, I bet you're sitting there thinking and wondering, who is this chick and why is she anybody that I would want to listen to? So let me take you kind of on a journey a little bit and let you know who I am and the things that I've come across in my life that assisted me in being a more positive person. I had, just like anybody else, gone through some depression, some really low points in my life, and I had learned how to cope and how to change to be a more positive person without using any kind of medication or anything like that. Not saying that medication is bad and evil. I know some people really need it. However, I didn't want to go down that route. I really felt that I could heal myself, and I felt that I could just take charge of this whole thing and really just find that connection between myself and my higher self or my spirit or whatever the case may be. Look, my hair is just kind of doing a wild thing over here. And part of my journey is learning to love myself even with these little cute little flaws that I have. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be kind of in the next few weeks just exploring how to put your mind at a better place, to have that more positive perspective on things. Maybe talk a little bit about the law of attraction and things like that. Get a little bit into spirituality, some workout tips, some herbs, and some foods that might help raise some of the chemicals in the brain that cause happiness and self-confidence and all that stuff. So just to get back to me a little bit, I am a massage therapist. I have been doing massage therapy for about 15 years. I'm also a Reiki master teacher. What that means is I do Reiki healing, and that is a type of energy healing. It's non-invasive, so you don't even have to touch the person. And what that does is it assists the energy of the universe, God, whatever you feel comfortable labeling, using that energy through the Reiki practitioner out into the client and putting it into their body, directing it into their body, and their body's natural connection to source will take that energy and put it wherever it's needed for healing. It's actually pretty awesome, so that would be an awesome thing to Google if you are interested in learning a little bit more about Reiki. There are some fabulous teachers. If you live in the Lake Orion, Oxford, Lapeer area, I have no problem giving classes and courses. I usually teach about 3 or 4 people at a time. I keep my classes very, very small. And I kind of went through some of my own stuff. And we all kind of have those times in our life where we just feel down and we feel that everything is against us, nothing is going right. And some people get to the point where they're so down, they want it to end. Not saying that they're going to hurt themselves or anything, but it's almost like you just give up and just want everything to end. And some people turn to drugs and alcohol, and other people turn to other things like food or other activities that could be potentially toxic. And luckily for me personally, I was very self-aware, and I also had a very awesome group of supporting friends and family who assisted me through it. I really did not want to go through, like I said, the chemical route, the pharmaceutical route. So what I started to do is I thought, okay, I read books and books and books, and I thought, well, the mind seems to take precedence and control over everything. So if I can just fix my mind, maybe, just maybe, everything else will start to fall into place. Now, that's not to say that I sat there and just thought positive thoughts and thought and thought and thought and did nothing else. No, I started the day with a good thought, a mantra, if you will. And it was the most simple mantra that I could come up with. And it is, I am in charge of how I feel. And today, I choose happiness. I say this a lot. And I found a bunch of other ones on the internet. And I started to tape them to my mirror. And I would go through about 5 and say them every day. And then I listened to a wonderful, wonderful woman named Lisa Nichols. And she said that to assist herself in pulling herself out of her little funk, she would look herself in the eyeballs in the mirror first thing in the morning, and she would say, I am, and then change the end of it, 5 positive I ams. And then she would do 5 I forgive myself fors. You get the idea. So I started to do those things, and it really started to change the mind. And when I did some more research as to why this was working, it was really fascinating to me, because I discovered the 5 main chemicals in the brain that actually control mood and even how you hold yourself up, how you deal with the world, all that stuff. And it was absolutely amazing. And I'll get a little bit more into that as we go along. And so I started to do these things, and honestly, after 2-3 weeks, it really started to change how I was feeling about the world, how I was feeling about myself. Because I would look in the mirror and think that I was just this piece of crap that didn't deserve to be on this planet anymore, because I, didn't live by the whole world's blueprint as to what a woman should be doing when she's in her 30s. So I started to really fall into the positive affirmation thing. And then I started to reach out spiritually to different types of spirituality. And I found some really awesome things in the Bible that I really enjoy. And so I use those as well, and I'll share those with you. And then there's this one affirmation that I found that has really changed my life. And I added that to the I'm in charge of how I feel. And it is, I'm sure you've all heard it, it's let your faith be greater than your fear. We all live so much into fear because our brains aren't designed to make you happy. Our brains are designed to help you survive. It's a 2 million year old evolution going on in between your ears. And it was designed to protect you. It was designed to assist you in finding food. It was designed to keep you from getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. Well, in this modern day and age, not many of us really have to worry about getting eaten by a tiger of any kind. So we tend to look for things. So we look for the problems in everything. And that is so profound. We have to overthink everything. So this is why I'm saying it's so important to understand the brain and start with the mind. And then when I started to get a grasp on that, I started to work out. I found a really awesome workout program that I love. I'm not a CrossFitter, and I'm not like with the Zumba stuff, because I don't have a whole lot of great rhythm, and I just don't have that bone in my spine that makes you kind of move like a snake or whatever. So I discovered I really love lifting things up and putting them down. I really do. I find it to be extremely challenging and very joyful, and I just love it. So I started to lift weights, and I started to do a bit of powerlifting. I also love to run, and running, everybody knows, increases the endorphins in your body and makes you happy. Endorphins make you absolutely happy. So I love running, and I started to do running. So I'm doing the positive affirmations. I'm working on my spirituality. I'm connecting with my higher self. Created a ritual that I do every morning. And no, I don't mean ritual like a cultic ritual, but I mean, if I'm to be honest, I probably would be considered a little bit because of the prayer I do. I do prayers and I do chanting. And I also do at least 10 to 15 minutes of meditation just so I can connect with God and I can receive the messages that he, she, it, they has for me. So I just started working, connecting with my spirituality, and then I started taking care of my body. I stopped eating processed foods. I cut out any kind of refined sugars. I started drinking a lot more water and really being conscientious on the type of water that I drink, whether it's filtered water from my tap, which is honestly probably the best you're going to get, or bottled water, because there's certain bottled waters that are even worse than your tap water. And then there's the more expensive ones, which really are filtered and live up to what they advertise. However, I'm not going to spend $3 to $5 on a bottle of water. So I filter my water, and it seems to be pretty good. So I started drinking more water. I got more into the herbs and the essential oils, and instead of doing pharmaceuticals, now when I get really sick, I will take a pharmaceutical, depending on what it is. I research everything, all the side effects and all that stuff, just being cautious of what it is that I'm putting in my body. But I use tinctures. Tinctures are taking an herb and soaking it in high proof alcohol for 4 to 6 weeks, depending on if it's dry or fresh, and voila, you take the plant matter out and you got yourself a tincture, and you put a few drops underneath your tongue, and there you go. So there's a lot of things that I really, really would love to cover, and I can't wait to get started. So that's pretty much what I have to offer, and I am so excited about this journey and that you're joining us, all of us. I mean, this is such a great group of people that we have assisting in health, assisting in gaining a clear consciousness on spirituality, people who can teach you about gardening and food and herbs and all the benefits that they have for you and why you should do organic and non-GMO, and recipes. And I mean, there's just so much going on during the week. So I really hope that you will like, subscribe, thumbs up, and share all of our kudos videos, and also hit that notification button, if you will, so that way you know when we post a new video. This is super, super exciting, and I am so happy that you guys are joining us on this great adventure. I hope you have a fabulous week, and I will see you next Sunday. Mwah!